Good morning, class 6 student. Today is 8th of September and today we are going to revise the chapter number 1, 2 and 3, which are the syllabus of your half yearly exam. So children, I want to clear you one thing, that chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 is your half yearly syllabus. So children, in the first day of the revision, we will revise the 3 chapters, chapter 1, 2 and 3. Children, in chapter 1, which is the food, from where do we get? In this chapter, we will revise the important points like what is the importance of food and what is the need of food. What are the sources of food? What are the edible parts? The type of organisms on the basis of their food source, which is herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. So let's start our topic, food. Children, you all know that all the living organisms need food for their survival, for the maintenance of body, proper growth of their body and proper body functioning. We need food for getting energy, by which we can perform our activities, our daily work and our body functions. Children, we get our foods either from the plant or from the animals. And you know that plants make their own food, and that is why plants are called as producers. All the animals are directly or indirectly depends on plant for their food, and that is why plants are known as producer. They are producing their own food. Some plants not, but most of the plants make their own food, and that is why they are called as producer. The food like the fruits, the vegetables, the wheat, all the grains and cereals, we are getting it from the plant. And the products like the milk, the cheese, the butter, ghee, all these, and meat also, egg also, we are getting it from the animals. It means both the plant and animals are the sources of our food. Children, it is not necessary that we are taking all the parts of the plant as a food from a single plant. It means, suppose you have a plant, it does not mean that you will take all the parts, all of its part as a food. Means, for the same plants, we are not taking the leaves, the fruit, the stem, the root, the buds, everything as our food. No, different plants, from the different plants we get different of its part, and we are taking this part as a food. For example, from the cauliflower we are getting the food from its flower. From the sugar cane we are taking its stem as a food. From tomato we are taking the tomato fruit as a food. It means what? Not necessary that from a single plant you are taking all the parts. No, different variety of plants, we are taking different types of its part as our food. So children, the parts of the plant which we are taking as a foods are called as edible parts. And these edible parts are the stem, the root, the leaves, the fruit, the flowers, the bud, etc. See the diagram of the plant. Children, some of the organisms only depend on the plant product for their food, like the goat, the cow, the horse. They are depend only on the plant product for their food, and such an organisms are called as the herbivores. Means the organisms, they are depend on the plant product, and that is why they are called as herbivores. Children, some of the animals who depend only on the other animals for their food. For example, the lion, the tiger, the leopard, they are depend on the flesh of other animals, and that is why they are called as carnivores. Children, there are a third variety of an organisms who depend on their food for their food on both the plant as well as on animal, and such type of an animals are called as omnivores. For example, the human, the bear, the crow, they are depend on both the plant product as well as on the animals for their food. So children, these all are about the chapter number 1. We have discussed earlier, but we are revised today also. Now it's time to revise chapter number 2. Children, chapter number 2, which is components of food. Children, in the first chapter we have discussed that we need food for the proper maintenance of body, for getting energy and proper body functioning. Children, have you ever think what is present in food which help us to do our work, which provide us the energy, which maintains our body? Children, the part of the food or the things which are present or the substances which are present in the food which provide us the energy to do our work, which maintains our body, which help in the growth of our body, are called as the components of food. And these components of foods have a specific term, nutrients. Means nutrients are present in the food. They are the components of food which helps our body to do or to perform its functioning, to its proper growth, for the maintenance, etc. So children, nutrients are the components of food which are present in food, and they are mainly 5 types of nutrients. They are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Along with these nutrients, our body also needs water and roughage. They are also necessary for the proper functioning of the body. So children, let us know what is the other name of these nutrients and what are their function. Carbohydrates, they are known as the energy giving food because they provide energy to do our work. These provide energy to our body. They are present in the rice, the starch, banana, means sweet potato, etc. Fats, they are also energy giving food, but they give more energy in comparison to carbohydrates, and the excessive intake of fats causes obesity. So children, the intake of a high amount of fat in our body is harmful for us. Next one is protein. Protein are known as the body building food, means they maintains our body and help the body to grow. They are present in the milk products like the cheese, the butter, in meat also, in egg also, in green leafy vegetables. So children, all the children who are in growing period needs more protein in comparison to the adults. Next one is the vitamins. Vitamins are known as the protective food. They protect our body from germs, disease causing germs, fight with them and protect our body and make our body disease free. There are several types of vitamins. They are vitamin A, B, C, D, E, K and so many one, B1, B12, B2, etc. So children, some of the vitamins are the fat soluble and some are water soluble. Fat soluble means they are stored in our body, but some are removed along with the water. When we urinate, these some of the vitamins goes out from our body. So children, vitamin A, D, E, K are the fat soluble and vitamin B and C are water soluble. So it is necessary to take the vitamin B and C regularly in our diet. Children, minerals. Minerals, these are the inorganic substances which provide a supplement to our body and help in the proper functioning of our body. Some of the minerals like the iodine, the potassium, the calcium, they help to make our bones strong. Some of the minerals like the iron which help in the hemoglobin formation. So children, these all are necessary. Along with it, roughages, they are also called as the dietary fibers, are also important for us because they help to digest our food. They help us to get us rid from the undigested food. They help us to remove the undigested food. And water, you all know that water is very necessary. 70% of the human body is made up of, contains water. So children, not made up of, contains water. Okay, and it's regulate our body temperature. When you lose our body water as a sweat, it means what? It is also necessary to intake the water at a regular interval of time. Children, in our food, it is necessary to take all these nutrients and a diet which contain all the nutrients in a proper amount. Why proper amount? Because all the age group people do not need the same nutrient. For example, the need of these nutrients in a child is very different from the need of these nutrients in an adult. So children, according to the age and according to our sex, either we are male or female, all these categorize the need of these nutrients in our body. So children, we must take a proper diet according to our age, which contains all the nutrients in a proper amount, and this type of diet is known as balanced diet. A diet which contains all the nutrients in an adequate or in proper amount according to our age and according to our sex, this is called balanced diet. So children, if there is a lack of certain nutrients in our body, it causes a disease which is named as deficiency disease. Lack of nutrients in our body causes a disease called deficiency disease. So children, it is very necessary to take all these nutrients properly. For example, the deficiency of vitamin A causes the night blindness, whereas the deficiency of protein causes kwashiorkor. The deficiency of the minerals like the iron causes anemia. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter. Deficiency of calcium causes the weak bones and arthritis also. Vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy. Vitamin D deficiency causes rickets. So children, it is necessary to take a balanced diet. Now children, chapter number 3, which is fibers to fabric. Children, we all need clothes to protect our body from the adverse conditions like from the extreme heat, cold, and from the rain also. We use our clothes according to our tradition, according to our culture, according to our need, and according to our profession or occupation. Children, all the clothes we are getting is obtained from a piece of cloth which is called fabric. And when we stitch this fabric, it converts into the clothes. And these fabrics are made from the thin fibers, thin thread-like, flexible, and a strong thread-like structure called fibers. Children, fibers we are getting from the natural source as well as from the man-made source. The natural fibers are getting obtained from the nature source, and these are either from the plant or from the animals. And synthetic fibers are the man-made fibers. They are synthesized by the humans, and these are the polyester, the nylon, the rayon, etc. Children, plant fibers are cotton and jute, and animal fibers wool and silk. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the plant fiber, cotton and jute. Children, you all know that we wear cotton clothes in summer season because it is water resistance and it keeps our body cool. So children, it is very necessary to convert the fibers into the fabrics and then fabrics into the clothes. These include several steps that are the ginning, the spinning, the weaving, the knitting. Children, ginning is a process of separating the cotton seed from the cotton balls. Children, the cotton fibers are separated from their seed by the process called ginning. Spinning, it is a process of changing the fibers into the yarns. Yarns are the continuous thread which are made by twisting the fibers. The third process is weaving. In this process, the yarn is converted into the clothes. The process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric with the help of hand loom or power loom is called weaving. Hand loom is an earlier traditional method. It is used in small scale, but the power looms are the new modern and which are used on large scale with the help of machines. The next one is knitting. Knitting is a process in which a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. You have seen that your mother is making the sweater or muffler with the help of two knitting needles. So children, these all are the processes through which the fibers are converted into the fabrics. Thank you. Have a good day.